We had three of the four teams that played three super overs last Sunday. Yesterday, there were no super overs, but there was one man who remained speechless after his team won a match. At the halfway stage of IPL 2020, KL Rahul was speechless with the way Kings and Punjab were losing all their matches and were firmly rooted to the bottom of the table. But yesterday, he was speechless for a different reason. Kings and Punjab are winning matches, but they're somehow finding ways to take it all the way until the end. But eventually, they did win the match, and KL Rahul was obviously a happy captain. Lots to talk about how the Sunrisers Hyderabad pretty much bottled a chase they should have easily pocketed after they were left with just 30 runs to get off the last 5 overs with Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar at the crease. But Kings and Punjab picking up an important 12-run victory that took them up the points table. Before that, though, we had one more match with the Knight Riders playing the Delhi Capitals. It was expected that the Knight Riders might not be able to put up a big fight against the Capitals because Shreyas Iyer's side were in good form, but it was quite the lopsided contest we witnessed with the Knight Riders picking up a rather comfortable victory, and the Delhi Capitals were left ruining the lost chances that they had, eventually handing over a 59-run win for Ian Morgan's men. Lot to talk about of both the matches. Welcome to Sportskeeda's IPL series Power Play. I'm your host Prasen Mautkal, and along with me, as always, is our cricket expert Indraneel Basu. Indraneel, let's begin with the first game. Shikhar Dhawan didn't score, Shreyas Iyer didn't score, Rishabh Pant didn't score. Nobody scored for the Delhi Capitals. They needed 195 to win. It was never going to be an easy chase. Sounding alarm bells in the Delhi camp at the moment.
No, but they did the right thing. At least they got Rahane back at the top of the order. You can't just immediately get results. You have to be little patient. You have to play that waiting game. I always thought that they peaked little early. Yesterday's performance is absolutely a shocker for me. The way they have played in last few games and losing out on towards the business end of the tournament, where you have to really consolidate your position as a top team or the second best team in the league competition, so you can't lose your plot. You've done all the hard work, initial hard work, which a lot of people actually struggle, a lot of teams actually struggle to do that. And Delhi Capitals did it with so much of ease. They won those matches because of the bowlers and some individual batting performances. But this is one such occasion when all the top order batsmen failed, from Rahane to Shikhar to Shreyas to Rishabh Pant. So this is one little worry they have, but that's 59-run loss is a huge. I never expected KKR to come so strong, and Nareen made such a difference at the loss of 3 wickets. They didn't look like a side which would go all the way to 190 plus, but they all did. It all happened. This is what the miraculous thing about T20 cricket. You one day a good team will lose, a bad team will win, and yesterday was one such occasion. I don't rate KKR so highly as the way they played yesterday. Two big actually three people got them together. First, Nitish Rana. That was, I don't know what kind of tactical game changer of a move it was to promote Nitish Rana as an opener, right? And he went up the order. Well, he did open, right? Yes, yeah, he did open.
Yes, yeah.
And the way he played and those sort of few nicks, few edges, few balls where he went past the edge of the bat, but he was there. He got those runs for his team. And then Nareen coming when they had lost 3 wickets and playing that that sort of 56 ball, whatever, more than 100 runs partnership, that really, for the 4th wicket, I think, and that really changed the complexion of the game. That gave that sort of middle order fillip, which Russell was not able to give to KKR, and that's why they looked such a brilliant side, and that's why they could put up such a brilliant show with the bat. And when you have that kind of pressure, chasing something like 194 to win, 185 to win, it's never going to be easy, Prasen, and that's why it was a tough call for the Delhi Capitals. They definitely needed a good start. You expecting Shikhar Dhawan to score in every game, that is also not right. He's done it in last 4 games with 250s, 200s. What else can you ask for? He's in the top 5 bracket of run scorers. He's doing well for himself, but he must have learned his mistake that, one bad game, never mind. Law of average catches up with Shikhar Dhawan, but next time it won't be the case, hopefully. But a surprise, way to see the way Delhi Capital bowlers also gave away those runs and bowled in that arc, which we keep talking about to Nareen, and given that ample opportunity to swing his arm and finish his, follow through of his bat was so good because he got those deliveries, those balls which were pitched in those areas which Nareen loves hitting out of the park, and which he did that with so much ease. Someone who has not been batting well, someone who opened the innings, someone who not been consistent with the bat. He's a bowling all-rounder, mind it, and came out there with no pressure. I don't think Delhi Capitals expected Nareen to play the way he played. They thought, he'll be sort of easy prey for the Delhi Capital bowlers, but it wasn't the case. Somehow I thought they could have done much better with the ball, and that would have put less pressure on the batsman. But this is how the game is. Bowlers have always delivered. If you see the last whatever wins they have around how many wins they have? They have quite a lot of wins actually. They have. I just sometimes
Capitals have 7 wins from 11 matches.
Yeah, 7 wins. So 7 wins. Those 7 wins are not. It's, if you see the scorecard of those 7 matches, the bowlers have always come to the party and really partied hard. And yesterday was one such game where they couldn't party at all. It was the Knight Riders batsmen, ruling the roost, and therefore that result was possible. 59 runs win over Delhi Capitals, a team which is right at top of the table, and KKR was not able to get that squad together yesterday. Was one such bad day at work for Delhi Capitals. I'm sure they'll come back strong in the next, because this is a time you should never lose your plot. And that's why I was saying that, they peak little early, which is not a good news. You should peak at this start. The way Kings 11 they're showing, they've peaked at the right time, which is why there's such a dangerous side. It's the momentum. Don't lose the momentum. You lose the momentum, you're out of the game there and then.
Yeah, and you speak about peaking early, and the Delhi Capitals, they're looking a little bit shoddy, without the batsmen being able to perform. The bowlers are also getting tonked a fair bit. Rabada also, he's being a little expensive, although he's picking wickets. Delhi Capitals next play Sunrisers, and then they play Mumbai Indians, and then they play RCB. 2 teams in the top 3. Are they in a little bit of trouble considering that the team isn't able to pick up wins?
Of course they are. Sunrisers are not look the same side. Yes, the previous game they played against Rajasthan Royals, they looked a different side because Manish Pandey played out of his skin. I thought he was brilliant in that game, and so was Vijay Shankar. He gave a sort of support which Manish would have needed, and that's why they were able to push Rajasthan out of the game completely. And that was one of performance which I would thought they would. That would really lift the side, which didn't happen. Unfortunately, they came back again yesterday, losing the. It was not a huge total they were chasing. We just had to go there, as we talked about the basics of the game, which is to occupy the crease. And none of the batsmen could do that with so much of experience, And
your second favorite batsman scored a 29 ball 15.
Yeah, I mean, this is so important. I mean, Warner got 35, Westo got 19, Pandey 50 now, as you said, 29 balls. Samad was 7, and Vijay Shankar was 26, and there was no real partnership happened. Whenever they wanted to come back to the game, they kept losing wickets, and that's not nice when you're playing at that level, and when you're heading towards that business end of the tournament, which is the most important bit of the tournament. This is the phase of the tournament where teams actually win it and lose it, and you can easily lose it. It's the propensity to lose these momentum is huge when you're in that business end, because everyone is desperate to go out there and have that top 4 finish. And if you're not able to do that, so they're trying to. It's like a team is put into the ocean and they want to swim back to the shore. So it's like everyone's trying to use their arms and legs and ensure they get to the shore. But this is one phase of the tournament where you have to be really, really correct in everything you do. You can't put a foot forward, a foot wrong. You do that, you pay for it.
Absolutely. And just to go back to the Knight Riders, they've made a fair few changes in their competition, and they even changed captaincy midway. And you clearly expressed your displeasure at that they shouldn't have made that move. But in a way, do you feel that they are doing a little bit injustice to Kuldeep Yadav? Because, obviously he is a lead spinner. He was the lead spinner for them before Varun Chakravarti came in for this season, and he's being played, he's being dropped, he's not being utilized, and it just looks very bad on their part. Because Kuldeep Yadav has been heralded as one of the best spinners in the Indian circuit. So, in a way, do you feel he's being hard done and he might not play a game again in this IPL?
I don't know. This KKR management is very weird. The way they've changed teams at will. They have a history of doing that. I'm not saying because I'm a Bengali and I'm a huge Saurav Ganguly fan. I'm not. I'm a fan of cricket actually. And to be very honest, they've been unfair to Saurav Ganguly, also a lot of other players. They would use, as long as you are right on top of your game. We saw what they did with Gautam Gambhir. Gautam was not able to score. They did continue with him for a few seasons, despite Gambhir not scoring regularly. All his scoring areas were on the third man area, which shows the sort of confidence he had as a batsman. So they very conveniently phased him out of the team, which they did, and then Gambhir was given that slot as captain in Delhi Capitals, which he had to quit midway through. So KKR is good at really playing with your confidence. This is not. They have a history of doing that. They want to be professional. They want to be very ruthless when it comes to coming on the field. Even Shoykot Sanyal is also saying the same thing. KKR management, what they should do. It's time for KKR management to rest Dinesh Karthik. Dinesh Karthik is a champion of a player. Let me tell you, he's played for a lot of teams. I know. Delhi franchise, he played for Delhi franchise for a while. For Mumbai Indians, he's always been a good scorer. But if you play with anyone's confidence, don't expect that guy to go and create miracles, do miracles for his team. That is humanly impossible. Even Muhammad Ali, who used to be the best boxer, he needed confidence from his team, from his team of coaches and physios and trainers. I don't think they had such a big team that time. But yeah, you always need confidence, no matter how big you are as a player or how small you are as a player. You always need confidence. That's the word which really matters so much in life, in sport, and that's why life and sports are so synonymous in so many ways. And I firmly believe KKR management is not being fair to Kuldeep Yadav because he's been dropped, he's been given one of the games. You remember, Prasen, he was introduced in the 15th or 16th over. How insulting! He's someone who's played cricket for India. He's an Indian cricketer, and insulting him like that. And in fact, when you're not able to score, or get those wickets, you should at least send them up the order. Give the new ball, give him that confidence. Maxwell, Kings did a very good thing with Maxwell. It's a lesson, case study for all those guys who are listening to me right now. Maxwell wasn't scoring with a bat. They gave him the new ball. He's not a fast bowler. He got those 4 overs, happening from his end, and that gave little confidence to his batting. He's still there in the team, right? He's surviving. So it's a very, very complex situation. Why Dinesh Karthik is going out, Shoykot? It's a defensive attitude of Ian Morgan. He might be the best captain in the world. 2019 World Cup win. We know all that, and we know who deserved to win also, which is New Zealand team. We know that also, but. When you're a captain, when you've lost wickets, the captain should go up the order rather than sending someone who's not in form. This is also a defensive mindset. You have to be decisive as a captain. You have to send, if someone is not doing well, you have to send the best batsman. I'm not trying to say that it's time to shield Dinesh Karthik. It's not like that. You take your best call. You're the captain. We can only share our observations from outside. But when you're on the game, you're seeing the team and building the team and making the team. You're writing those names on the team list. You know the best, but you have to respect the surrounding. You have to back your players. You can't treat the way you've been treating Kuldeep Yadav. This is very unfortunate. This is not Indian cricket is known about. Indian cricket team, when they play, they actually get backing. And this is a new culture which has started. And thanks to Virat Kohli for starting this culture of, perform or perish. It's okay. With 1/3 success, Sachin Tendulkar becomes such a big cricketer. You don't expect, if you play, which means if you play 10 games, if you've done well in 4 games, that is good enough for you to stay relevant in the tournament, stay relevant in the playing 11, which is so important as a bowler, as a batsman. So this is one thing which really need to work on, and KKR management is really lacking, and that's why I don't give them a lot of marks in terms of commitment, in terms of sort of side with confidence. Present.
Kingsland and Punjab, on the other hand, you spoke about how the confidence must be there, and obviously they were, defending a total which was slightly below par, on that surface. Although hitting was difficult, they did put up a rather below par score, and they needed to defend it. 127 with that Kingsland Punjab bowling, which has come under the scanner a fair bit, was going to be tough. But Rahul, in the post-match presentation, spoke about how he was looking to restrict the batsman to just around 40-45 in the power play. And even at every stage, he still had the confidence in his bowlers, and it really paid off.
Absolutely, and Rahul is turning out to be such a great captain. First time as a captain leading the side. But Prasen, I have to tell all the audience who joined in, KL Rahul is the next Indian captain. I mean, I can assure you, after covering cricket for 2 decades, I can tell you that he's the guy who's going to be a very good captain. Look at his composure as a captain. I've seen, he's never lost it on the field, first of all. And when the team lost it, he was outside the field. He got out, he was waiting for the team to finish off things. When he had done everything possible, team still lost the game. He just walked off with so much of dignity to the dressing room. And that has really carried this team forward. It's not Alin Kumble. Together, they were all playing a Karnataka 11. Prasen, you may not like this comment, but they got in these newcomers, those people from Punjab, those catchment areas, those Punjab Ranji Trophy players, and look at the result. Mandeep Singh was opening the innings yesterday, which is so nice. I'm not saying that Karun Nair is bad, but he's been around, he's been given ample opportunity. You have to drop Andre Russell also in the KKR from playing 11. That's how cricket is. You have to be given certain sort of run to ensure that whether you're good enough or not. And that was given to Maxwell, that's been given to Karun Nair, and now they moved on. They're trying different things. They've understood what it means to win matches. And they, as you rightly said, right at the start of the show, they have been taking everything to the last over, which is so important. And you have to. They must have had having nerves of steel by this time, all the players. And Rahul has been brilliant as a captain. And for a captain, how do you judge a good captain? The way he conducts himself, the way he makes those changes in terms of bowling and fielding placements on the field. I mean, when the team is batting, there's no captaincy happening because there's a coach, there's an assistant coach, batting coach. God knows how many players are there trying to get into the minds of the batting team. But once you go on the field, it's the captain who's the boss. And I see Rahul coming and doing the job after Virat completes his term, because Rahul is also sort of a Dhoni kind of a character. He's right behind the stumps watching the thing and doesn't lose his cool, which is so important. I've seen Virat losing his cool. Rohit was a brilliant captain, but he never got the opportunity because Virat is there at the helm of affairs. And there are obviously a lot of effort being made to make him a leader in one of the formats, in the shorter formats. Rohit Sharma should be given and that's why probably he was given Khel Ratna this year, because it never happened. They have got so many players from different disciplines getting Khel Ratna this year, and Rohit Sharma has all the elements, all the good qualities to become a good leader, and he's shown it on the field. 4 IPL wins, but somewhere down the line it got stuck because Virat is there. But if there is any captain, I would see the future of Indian cricket lies with KL Rahul. What a cricketer, and what I really like is the team was losing those matches from winning position, but he never lost that focus to not scoring. He scored in every game. He, in fact, slowed down his pace, of scoring runs just to ensure it benefits the team. Brilliant player. What a team, man. I really love him. In fact, Ravi Shastri once gave me an interview way back in 2016. And Rahul had 100 against the West Indies, champion side West Indies. They're defending world champions after all. This was in, I think, in the US when he played one of the games, and he scored 100. And he said he's the best batsman in the shorter formats. And now I'm sure he's going to get back to that flight which is going to Australia. Rahul will be there. He's definitely the guy to watch out for. We talk about Shubman Gill, he's of course behind Rahul. But Rahul is the guy. He's going to take over the realms of Indian cricket from Virat Kohli. This is my prediction, and I trust me, I won't be wrong.
Yeah, I think all of us are waiting for that because we're seeing, as you mentioned, how composed the captain he is. And of course, Kings and Punjab were staring down the barrel at the halfway stage with just one win from 7 matches. And sorry?
No, he hides his, whenever something goes wrong, you've seen he puts his gloves on his face. He hides all his disappointment. He's such a dynamic character. I really love him the way he is, and he's doing a great job for his team, and has got a great first time as a captain. Brilliant. I mean, whether he wins it or not from here doesn't matter. He's really shown a lot of dignity, which a true leader should have all the time. It should not, leave you whether you'd win or lose. And Rahul has shown that.
Absolutely, and that is really translating into results on the field for the Kings and Punjab as well. At the halfway stage, they were staring down the barrel with just one win from 7 games, but now suddenly they're in fifth place with 5 wins from 11 matches, and it's all going well for them. And they're primed to make the playoffs, which no one thought they would. But just moving on from yesterday's games to today's games, two important matches. I mean, the first match pretty much isn't as important as one would make it. CSK versus RCB. Chennai have pretty much they've waved a proverbial white flag, and they've pretty much given up. RCB on the other hand have a chance to top the table if they win today against CSK. Second match, obviously, Rajasthan versus Mumbai Indians. Again, the Mumbai Indians looking an unstoppable team this season. Rajasthan Royals need to win, and against the Mumbai Indians unit, it might be a slightly difficult task. But what do you make of the two matches we have in store for Super Sunday? Three more super overs, maybe 4?
No, that was a miraculous day last Sunday. Yeah, unforgettable day. Having a match with two super overs, Mumbai and Kings. That's the match will always stand out in the history of IPL.
Absolutely.
And there was nothing cooking behind the scene. It was a genuine cricket match. A very tough tussle between bat and ball, which we saw in the last Sunday encounter. What a match! And we all stood awake. We were not sleeping because we couldn't have dropped our eyelid. That was a very important moment. And look at the way they played. Kings 11 were really a champion side. But talking about the CSK, it's a very, very sad situation. They have to go through this. It's never happened. At times I feel bad for the team. A team which has actually played a huge role. I mean, I have to tell you this, Prasen, and all the viewers who joined in. CSK played a huge role in established IPL. I have to tell you that.
Yeah.
They have been amazing as a most consistent side. The way IPL is today, the brand value of the IPL. It's the biggest Indian brand on global stage. IPL. That's the only brand we can talk about. And globally we are known because of IPL. Even the US president would know about our brand IPL. IPL is a big brand, and CSK played a huge role in that. In establishing that brand, and the way they have gone around, gone doing their business, it's very, very sad. This is something that we never expected. Last time they played against RCB, RCB won the over CSK by a record margin. They've never beaten CSK like that. In fact, before that game, it was 8 out of 8 games. CSK won 7, and RCB only won 1 game. So that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Last game was completely different. So there's nothing to lose for CSK. They go out there, they'll try to do everything possible to ensure RCB is not getting on top of things, which is topping the table as you rightly pointed out. But again, a good test of nerves for Virat Kohli, how he can continue to do the good work. It's not doing your good work one day or 2 days. You have to do it consistently, and that's why I always thought, performing in a Ranji Trophy is much tougher than playing in the IPL. You know why? Because you have to keep performing for 3-4 months to be able to, and really congratulations to the Karnataka Ranji Trophy team. And if you see all the teams in that's the only team from Karnataka. All the players more or less have an IPL contract because they have backed their players. They've followed that policy of throw them young, and they have shown consistency, which is very important. And that's the only team in the entire setup which has the maximum players playing from Bangalore in all the IPL teams. Correct me if I'm wrong, Prasen.
Yeah, I mean, they do, yeah.
Yeah, they do. I mean, don't have to be so humble, but that's a fact. You're sitting in Karnataka, but yes, this is what a cricket team can do. You have to show consistency. IPL has been on for like 2 months or so, less than 2 months, in fact. And if you can't show consistency, you're not going anywhere. So this is the time to show consistency. And you see the players who've done well. I mean, the only team which has done very consistent at the domestic cricket is Karnataka, and it's showing. And all the Karnataka players are doing well in the IPL. They always do well, and they have been the most consistent side, and that's the reason. Ranji Trophy, you have to keep performing for 3-4 months, and IPL is less than 2 months. So I'm sure Virat Kohli will keep that picture in his mind when he goes out there and show that consistency. Keep winning. Don't think it's over till it's actually over. The final match, the final ball is the main situation. The main you have to survive till there. So, and they are a very good team this time. RCB is the best team because their bowling is good. So it'll be a good contest for sure. RR, Rajasthan Royals, they came with a lot of promise. They were a good team on paper. I studied on previously on different shows also. They are the best team after 2008 I've seen. But they lost the plot. They went. They didn't have that sort of combination working. Their partnership didn't happen the way it should have happened. There was a lot of overconfidence once in a while, which they displayed, which is not good for the game. They were rushing things, which Shane Warne kept reminding them in the nets: don't rush, take your time. But all those things happened. They're nowhere close to what Mumbai have done over the years. But this is one thing: Mumbai is still going strong. They can really face throw challenge to any big team on a given day and make it a cakewalk kind of a situation. But don't underestimate these sides, especially RR. They are a good team. And Mumbai, if I were Rohit Sharma, I won't be sitting pretty and sitting very easy that we have an easy game today. It's not. RR is a good side, and you have to keep winning against a good side also because they have played those super overs. Remember, I told you the super overs are very important. Only though I'm beg your pardon, RR and CSK are the only two players who never played a super over. So
Yeah.
you can expect us at least
One super.
that taste of super over. It's not easy, but yeah, we hope for a good Sunday. It's going to be a good cricket match. Don't look too much into the table. Table says a lot of stories. Someone has to lose, someone has to win, but all the teams are good. But this year, one team which wasn't good at all was CSK, which is so sad. That is the overall crux. That's the crux of the discussion we have on. When you talk about CSK, very disappointing. Really, I never thought they would come down. They would hit the rock bottom in this fashion, losing so many games on the trot. Never happened, and this is probably the last time you're seeing MS Dhoni, and that's why he said he's not going to run away. He's going to play those 3 games. Yeah, so
they're not going to change captaincy like KKR.
he's one of the promoters also.
They don't have a captain probably in that side either.
Next year we'll do this. He's talking like that. So we don't know whether he's going to play or not, but he's certainly going to be around with the CSK. He's their brand ambassador. They're promoters for life. As long as MS Dhoni lives, he will be with CSK. There is no two ways about. Like Stephen Fleming, what a coach! What a coach! I mean, don't go by what they've done this year. They've been very consistent. Even last year also they played the final. This year they may not look the same team which played the final, but they had plans to change things. They couldn't. Even last year also there's no big auction happening. I don't know how much can they change, but they would definitely try to do that little bit of exchange of players in the transfer window. I hope they can come up with a strong side. If Dhoni moves out, who will be the next captain? That's a 5 contenders, the ex-captain for CSK. And trust me, they are someone who's, I mean, they when they do something, they tell their players, you guys are here to stay. That's the sort of bonding they have with the players. And that's why they have been the most consistent side. They've played so many finals. I think 7-8 finals they may have played and been there in all the playoff games. In last 12 years of IPL, they have been in the playoff. Today they will officially go out. it'll be said, it'll be written on the wall that they are not part of that big four, which is going to be decided in India's time. So that's a really sad ending to a CSK team, a champion side.
Yeah, probably end of an era, like the way a couple of people are putting it. But yeah, I mean, obviously CSK have looked disappointing this season, and they will need to bring out their A game against RCB, who are looking to top the table. And in the evening game, we'll have Rajasthan facing off against Mumbai. But do join us for the preview show as we'll bring you the playing 11s and the fantasy tips for both the matches today at 3 p.m. So do join us for the previous show, but for the review show of KKR versus DC and Kingsland versus SRH, that's it from us, our cricket expert Indranil Basu and myself, Prasen Madhwar. Thank you so much, Indranil. Have
Thank
a
you.
super Sunday, and hopefully, as you say, we will see a minimum of one super over today.
Because Rajasthan and CSK, they haven't played a super over in any
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
they deserve one.
If destiny has its say, they'll definitely
at least be in that sort of get that feel of it, super
yeah.
over.
Absolutely. If destiny has to have its say, we'll probably see one. But thank you so much, as always, for joining us and giving us your observations and opinions on the games.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
See you.
Viewers, do join us at 3 p.m. today for the preview show. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Right.